Hey guys, Theron Asbury here with Revital Outdoors, bringing you another exciting podcast. Tonight, we're going to go to the great state of South Carolina. We're going to interview Mr. Sean Alvarez. Sean just got done winning the Savannah River BFL tournament on Lake Hartwell, so we're very excited to talk to another winner from this year. Sean's got a very impressive resume as an angler. He started fishing professionally a long time ago. He actually competed in the 2011 Bassmaster Classic. He stepped away from his professional career to raise his children, and now they're off to college, and he's getting back into the tournament scene. So really cool to see him get back into the tournament scene the last couple of years and then walk away with the victory this last weekend at the Savannah River Division with the BFL. Before we get started, Revital Outdoors is very excited to announce we are going to do a $2,500 giveaway. This is a giveaway that is great for all the angling enthusiasts out there, big to small. This is just a giveaway you want to get into. It will be for $2,500. It will be at the end of the season. To enter that giveaway, I'm going to put up a banner right here. Click the link right below the description of this video. So right at the top of the description, you're going to see a link. Make sure you click that to enter in. It only takes 2 seconds. Again, that winner will be selected at the end of the year. Make sure you follow us on or subscribe to our YouTube channel and get notified when all that content is dropping. Also, check us out on social media. That's going to be Facebook and Instagram. And if you've never heard of Revital Outdoors, we're a premium CBD company. We offer premium CBD products to all the outdoor enthusiasts out there. Really, really great product to combat all the different ailments that we endure as outdoor enthusiasts. So make sure you check them out on our website, www.revitaloutdoors.com. You can purchase them right there. And always remember, we're made right here in the United States, and all of our products are THC-free. So we're a worker-friendly brand. You will not fail a drug test. So that being said, let's go to South Carolina. Let's bring him into the studio, Mr. Sean Alvarez. How you doing this evening, bud?
Doing well. Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, man, congratulations on your victory this last weekend. You, as I mentioned in the intro, you have a really stellar career as a tournament angler, but always very special to walk away with that victory.
Yeah, it never gets old. You know, it seems like it's too long between victories, and in between, all you want is another one. And as soon as you get it, you just want another one. It's very addictive. So.
Right. So, well, you won it in the Savannah River Division with the BFL with Major League Fishing. You won it on Lake Hartwell, a phenomenal fishery, probably one of the top fisheries in the country, in my opinion, this time of year. Whether you're a spotted bass nut or like chasing those smallmouth, you know, it fits everyone's style. We were just talking about that before the podcast. So, tell us a little bit about Hartwell. What's it doing right now, and maybe a little bit about your tournament. What were you able to piece together?
Well, it's a really interesting time on Hartwell right now because you've got a little bit of everything going on. You know, you've got fish on stage and ready to come in and get on beds, and within the next few days, we're going to have more fish on beds. I just walked down to the dock today and could see them sitting under the dock. The males are already fanning, so we got another wave ready to come up. You've got herring spawning with the high water. You've got herring spawning in coves, out on points. So
wow, that's already happening.
Yeah, I want to say it was last Wednesday was the first time where the herring that I saw in practice was out in the middle of the cove, and it was in the evening, and I wanted to see what was going to happen, and all of a sudden I'm fishing docks, and all of a sudden the herring moved up under the docks. But what I noticed was there was just small fish with them, so I'd catch small fish in there. So I said, where are the big ones? And you know, it was about a week ago we had a warming trend. We've been through this warm, wind, cold cycle for several weeks now. And every time we start on that warming, the fish want to get up on beds. On Monday of last week, so it was really just a week ago, I went into one small pocket up a river, and there were 3 beds within 50 yards of one another. And all 3 had males, and 2 of them had females rolling around. And that was on a Monday. By Wednesday, they were gone, and bluegill were in there. By Thursday, herring were up in there. It's sort of a mess.
That's a very quick turnaround.
Yeah, and I was finding water 5 degrees warmer up the rivers, and down by the dam, it was a whole lot cooler. So it was sort of trying to figure out, you know, what are we going to do? And it was coming out of one of these real small, you know, these bass spawn in the back of just about every pocket. It was coming out at that time on Monday, Tuesday. I was determined this is going to be another first week in April spawn fest. It's going to be sight fishing. My best bet's probably going to be run pockets and look for bedfish. And by Thursday, that all changed. And so the wind made a big difference. And I want to say it was Thursday when I connected with a 4-pounder out on a point, and it was all spawned out. And, it looked like the tail had been healed for about a week or two. So it was already healing. So that told me, back when the Classic was here, those fish were starting to get up already. Those fish are now, making a move. So I thought, I'm going to try to intercept. My best bet is to intercept those fish coming out and intercept those fish coming in, and just stay in areas where there's bait. So in the evenings, I just run around watching birds. Just run around, see where the birds were in the evening, and the next morning for practice, go hit those areas, and it seemed to work. So it changed every day.
Okay. So sounds like the fish are kind of in that period of the spawn where it's based on the moon. Like the moon phase is going to affect the majority of them, how many, or not the majority, but how many of them actually move up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I saw the strangest thing, and that was I saw a male and a female on a bed in the back of a pocket, and herring all around them, and the male was just trying to fight off all the herring that were. I hadn't seen that before.
That's crazy.
So it's kind of a mixed up mess. So I was just happy that the wind blew, because that took the sight fishermen out.
Right.
So I knew half the field's gone right there. Now I just have to take advantage of what I can do with the wind blowing.
Right. So you said you fished up shallow, caught a few, buck bass, nothing huge. So does that mean throughout the tournament you were fishing a little bit deeper, throwing more reaction baits, or were you dragging along the bottom? Or
I didn't really go into the back of a pocket at all during the tournament. I just stayed out on the. I knew, because I had roamed around enough in the 7 days prior to it, I knew where the fish had been spawning, and I knew where they had vacated the beds. So I thought, they're on their way out. I'm going to try and get them on the way out. And so hitting the secondary, the main and secondary points in those spawning areas seemed to be the ticket. Early morning was best, and fish got smaller as the day went, and the spotted bass then kicked into gear in the afternoon.
Right. How many? A couple questions regarding your fish. First and foremost, how many keeper bites did you get throughout the day?
Oh, geez. I didn't even count, but it had to be 20, 30.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah. But a lot of those were spotted bass. Towards the afternoon, the stuff, you come across a point and it's loaded with spotted bass. It's like, I needed to cull out. My smallest was 2 3/4. And it was the only fish I weighed. And it was because I honestly thought I had 4-pounders in there, because the waves were going and the wind was howling. And when I'd connect, it was, just focus on get the fish in the live well and get back up there and maintain boat position. And so I knew I could tell every fish I caught had freshly, bruised tails, and they were spawned out. So they had big heads and vacuum bellies. So I looked at it and said, yeah, that's a 5-pound head, on a 4-pound body. Into the well it goes. It's probably a 4-pounder. So I really thought I only had about 18 pounds. And the only fish I measured was that smallest one. I said, I got to cull this one up. And that was 2 3/4. And every fish I caught after that was between 2 and 3/4. And it was almost frustrating.
Right.
Because I even told my co-angler at one point, I said, you know what, if I can cull this out with a 4-pounder, I said, we're going to get some money today. I had no idea that I didn't even need that 2 3/4 pounder at that point.
Right. And that leads me to my next question. So was that your only spotted bass? So you did have a mixed bag that you weighed in?
I didn't weigh in any spotted bass.
You didn't? Okay. So the 2 3, no. That wasn't spotted bass. Okay.
That was largemouth. Yeah.
Okay. So predominantly largemouth. That's one thing about Hartwell. If you study the history of Hartwell and the big tournaments, even down to the smaller tournaments like the BFLs, the guys that win them, they're weighing in all largemouth. I mean, you really kind of have to get rid of those spotted bass.
Yeah, you really won't win one here unless you have those largemouth dialed in. And at this division, it's tough. I fished all over the country in a lot of different opens and up in the Northeast and out west, and the guys here in South Carolina have a reputation. They're tough. I've only lived here 7 years, and they're hot sticks. These guys are tough. They're some of the toughest in the country. They're talented, and they know how to break down these blueback lakes. Mm-hmm. So I guess it's sweeter for me to be in the company of those guys, having got a good bag of largemouth, because those guys do it consistently.
Right. So, all right. Well, any final thoughts on your tournament and anything else to kind of give the listeners out there an idea of what's going on in Hartwell, what to expect in the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, probably watch your podcast. I mean, I say that because you had Michael Anders on. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was your last podcast or one before this tournament. And if you play that back and listen to it, he said right on there, the wild card's going to be a spinnerbait. Someone's going to pick up a spinnerbait, and this tournament will be over in an hour. And now he set up the rivers, but for the most part, he was right. And that wind blows. If you Google how do you catch bass in the wind, it'll say use a spinnerbait. It's old school.
It's as old school as it gets, and it's from California to South Carolina, north to south, even down here in Florida. If you got wind, throw a blade. Just throw it.
Yeah, but a lot of the guys will run. So with the weather the way it was, sight fishermen were gone, right? So there's a lot of the pack. Then with the wind blowing, guys who don't embrace the wind and see it as their ally, they're gone because they all go to the opposite shore and hide and tuck away. Mm-hmm. So that means there's very few guys left for me to compete against. And so it was a perfect storm for me to just, run a few key points, and the tanks were biting the first hour. It was pretty exciting. It was one for the books.
Absolutely. So, well, Sean, before we let you go, I know you got a great support system. Looking at your social media, you got a great family, a lot of people that support you there in South Carolina where you live now. I know you still have a lot of goals set before you in your tournament career. So anybody you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, obviously a shout out to all my my family and friends and loved ones who have not only put up with me over the years, coming up through the weekend. I had a dream when I was 12 years old. I was going to fish the Bassmaster Classic, and it was a nightmare to get there. And I finally did in 2011. And then it was the next, you reset your goal. I want to win it next, right? So all the friends and family and loved ones that put up with that, they're the biggest sponsors that you have. And really, they're the ones who then also, for some strange reason, encourage me to get back out there and start doing it again. And this was actually my first BFL I've ever done. I always, fished competitor circuits, but this one was here. So I'll give BFL a try. And it's the first big tournament I've done in 7 years. So, and a shout out to, I'll say, to Gary Dobbins, with Dobbins Rods. He was the first sponsor I ever had, first one who believed in me. He saw something I didn't, and said, stay the course. You can confide in the guy and get advice on, should I continue? Should I take a break? And he said, when you're ready to come back, I'll be here for you. So, that's the kind of, support system that you need. And I'm really blessed to have that.
Absolutely. So, well, Sean, thank you for coming on our podcast. Again, for all the listeners out there, you've been talking to Mr. Sean Alvarez. He just got done winning the Lake Hartwell BFL Savannah River tournament this last weekend. We wish him the best of luck throughout the rest of the year. We want to wish all the best of luck to all the BFL anglers competing in 2022. Before we let everybody go, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. And you see that banner scrolling at the bottom. Make sure you enter our $2,500 sweepstakes giveaway package. That lucky angler will be selected at the end of the year, and a really awesome opportunity. The link is right below in the top of the description of this video. So click that link and get in. Again, it just takes 2 seconds, and you could be that lucky winner. So from all of us at Revital Outdoors, thank you for tuning into this podcast. I'm Theron Asbury. As always, God bless. Be safe out there, and we'll talk to everyone very, very soon.